The thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Wow, West Coast has it by 6.
It's the all-new Let's Go Racing from Parks Casino and Racetrack. It's action-packed and fun for the entire family.
3 of them are right together with 1 furlong to go.
Let's Go Racing is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
A very pleasant good morning, racing fans, and welcome here to Parks Racing for the long-awaited return of Let's Go Racing. Here at the top of the show, my friend Dick Girardi and I will talk about the resumption of live racing here at Parks, and that's coming up here on Monday, June 22nd. We'll have all of the details for you in just a little bit. Also, the first leg of the Triple Crown, yes, the first leg of the Triple Crown, the Belmont Stakes, coming up later today from Belmont Park. We'll also have live coverage of racing from down at Churchill Downs, the Louisville Handicap, and up in New York, the Grade 1 Ogden Phipps. And we'll check in with John Service and Brian Sanfratello about what has gone on over the last 3 months here as we get set to resume live racing. Hi, everybody. Keith Jones. We're in the paddock here at Parks. And my friend Dick Girardi. And Dick, we're taping on Tuesday. Saturday, the Belmont Stakes, and just a little bit less than a week from now, there's going to be some activity right here in the paddock.
Yeah, we're thrilled that racing is back not only here, but around the country, Keith. And the last time we taped in mid-March, none of us envisioned any of what went on. The Derby hasn't happened. Right. The Preakness hasn't happened. The Belmont happens later today. It's all backwards. The longest race is now the shortest. The last race is the first. Right. It's just weird, but it's been a weird couple of months, as everybody knows. But we are happy to be here and happy to be back.
Now, Dick, we haven't raced since Tuesday, March 11th. Now, fans are still not permitted to come out here to the racetrack, so they have an opportunity to bet online. You can go to the website at parksracing.com and you find the drop-down menu to get yourself hooked up with the online wagering system. Or a lot of people like to use their phone. There's a Parks Racing mobile app that you can download to your phone, have an opportunity to bet like that as well.
Yeah, that's one of the good things about horse racing, Keith, through all this. Unlike other sports, the betting has continued, and of course some racetracks were able to stay open the entire time, like Gulfstream Park and Oaklawn Park. And now that tracks have come back, like Churchill Downs, Santa Anita, and Belmont, the online wagering has just skyrocketed.
Yes.
Arkansas Derby Day, which was run on Kentucky Derby Day, their record handle was 19 million, and that's with 60,000 people at Oaklawn Park. This year they had 0 people and handled 40 million. So yeah, horse racing is the one sport that the gambling has continued, and people are firing like they never have fired before.
Could you say the only game in town?
Indeed.
People are definitely enjoying their horse racing. I think a lot of people here, of course, were affected greatly by the shutdown. And we want to check in with Sal DeBunda, who has an opportunity to catch us up on some of the goings on here over the past couple of months. Here's more with Sal.
It's a day to be happy, to celebrate. We are finally reopening. I want to thank Mike Bellezzi and his staff and our board for their support during this time. I want to thank the Pennsylvania Racing Commission for acting quickly to get these protocols finalized and off to the health people. I want to congratulate and thank the Parks Management for working with us to get to this point. So I think we have a lot of good news. Let's just be responsible and do what we have to do to keep us open and make this healthy and get back to where we were before the pandemic. Again, I thank all of you for your patience. I think we're home, or soon we'll be home, and congratulations to all. And again, thank you all.
Dick, with the shutdown as long as it was, there were so many people that were affected in so many ways by what went on. And we know our friends Sal DeBunda and Mike Bellezzi both had a lot of work to do to get this done.
Look, a lot of it was behind the scenes stuff, but they were talking to the health department, the people with the state, the racing commission. Of course, Sal's a member. And look, at times was it frustrating? Yeah, because some other jurisdictions opened earlier, but it wasn't for lack of trying. They really tried hard. And you know what? There's no sense in looking back now because you can't do anything about it. Just look forward to Monday, have some good racing starting Monday afternoon.
Now, Dick, we talked about the Belmont Stakes later today, and on that card, the Grade 1 Woody Stevens, and we're going to have a little Parks flavor involved there. Our good friend John Service is involved in that Grade 1 race.
He is, with Mischievous Alex, owned by Chuck Zachney and Glenn Bennett, and he will be a major player in the 7/8 Woody Stevens.
Well, John was down in Florida with some of his stable during the shutdown, and he's also been getting Mischievous Alex ready for the Belmont Stakes, and let's hear more from John.
Here with trainer John Service. So, John, we're finally about to be back. What have you been doing all these months?
Well, I've been in Florida, so we've been at it pretty steady down there, and we've been training here. We backed off the horses some and did more 2-minute licking than we did breezing, just trying to keep them somewhat fit until we had some idea when things were going to open up again. So we're anxious, to say the least.
What has it been like for your whole stable, your owners, just not to be able to run? There's expenses, but there's no revenue up here.
Yeah, I mean, it's been really hard on them. I tell you the truth, for me, it's been really hard on the owners not being able to come out, because I have so many owners that come out in the mornings and love to hang out and really enjoy it. And every one of them that does that has been complaining, we really miss that, we really want to come back to the barn. And so it's been a long haul.
The good news is you're still running, and you're running Saturday in New York with Mashibas Alex and the Woody Stevens. Tell us about how your really hot 3-year-old is doing.
He's doing great. I had him in Florida all winter. We flew him actually to New York for the Gotham, and he ran great. Went back home to Florida, trained down there until about 3-4 weeks ago, and we brought him back to Parks. He's trained great here. I let him do a little something this morning, take a little of the edge off of him because he's very sharp, and he's pretty much done till Saturday. We'll just kind of toy with him a little bit till Saturday, but he's sitting on go.
Beyond Saturday, he already has some Derby points. If he runs well, what are you thinking?
I think we're going to try him in the Haskell. If he runs well Saturday, we got to try him 2 turns and see where we're at. Like I say, he's got such a good mind on him. I keep repeating myself, but he just does everything so easy, and he's so push button that he might carry that far. So we're going to try him in the Haskell and see how he fits afterwards, as long as he runs well Saturday and comes out of it good.
And this is an all Parks thing, because my man Kendrick is going to ride. So we got a Parks owners, obviously, with Chuck and Glenn.
Yeah, Chuck and Glenn are real excited about it. And Kendrick actually came and breezed him last week and was tickled to death with him. So, it's a Pennsylvania, Delaware kind of thing. So.
John, I understand there's some grant money that's been given to some of the backstretch workers from some of your owners. Tell us about it.
Well, the guys that own Mischievous Alex, Glenn Bennett and Chuck Zachney, were kind enough to donate a significant amount of money for the backstretch employees, to get through hard times. We're going through the PTHA with that, and it looks like what they're going to do is hand out gift cards for the people that come in and need certain things, whether it's Walmart or whether it's grocery store or whatever, instead of just handing out money. So that way, it gets used for what it needs to be used for. And both guys also donated a significant amount of money to the Breeders' Fund, too, to help some of the breeders that are struggling a little bit. So it's really kind of them. I know PTHA is putting it on their newsletter and on their website, and hopefully we can get some more owners involved and jump in there, and maybe we can keep this thing going from here on out.
That'd be great. And hopefully Chuck and Glenn can get some of that money back today.
I hope so, yeah.
As you talked to John, they mentioned about taking him to the Haskell.
Yeah, I think if he runs well, he's already got Derby points enough to get in. They're going to have to think about trying to run him 2 turns and see if he's good enough. And if he is, look, I was talking to Chuck the other day. The only big race Chuck Zachney hasn't won in this sport is the Derby. He's won the rest of them. He's won Breeders' Cups. He's won the Kentucky Oaks, the Preakness, the Belmont. So I know he'd love to win the Derby.
Now, Dick, you mentioned how it's all backwards. Later today, it's the Belmont Stakes.
Yes.
Now, this time it's 1 1/8 miles. It's the first leg of the Triple Crown. Not only is it 1 1/8 miles, it's a 1-turn 1 1/8 miles.
Yeah.
How crazy is this?
I mean, it's just different. And look, I think Belmont Park and Naira did the best they could with the circumstances. They couldn't run 1.5 miles for these horses hadn't prepped. It just wouldn't make any sense. So they did the rational thing. It won't be the same, but nothing's the same. But it's the best. We're going to have all 3 races, and a New York bred, Tis the Law, owned by the Funny Side people, trained by Barkley Tag. Abington, grew up in Abington, Penn State grad, will be the favorite. And it's going to be a solid field, but a lot of the really good 3-year-olds just got injured very recently, like Nadal from Bob Baffert. Charlatan is out with an ankle problem. Maxfield who looks so good. Wells Bayou, all gone, but Tis the Law will be a solid favorite. But there's some other horses in there that could be quite interesting. Like, I'm going to give you one, Keith. How about Tap It to Win?
Yes.
My man Mark Cassie trying to win 3 straight Triple Crown races. The Preakness, Belmont, Triple, if he can pull it off.
He prepped at a big race at Gulfstream Park that I was involved in, shall we say, and got an awfully nice price. He's a nice-looking horse.
Yeah, he's going to be.
Yep.
He's wheeling him back in a
Yep.
couple of weeks. Mark's like the only guy in his sport that even tries that anymore,
Yep.
and he's pulled it off with a number of really good horses before.
I think the Derby obviously now on September the 5th, and
Yep.
the Preakness is the final leg of the Triple Crown
Yes.
in early October.
Yeah, again, it will be strange, but the good news is they're going to be run, and I know they're really hopeful at Churchill Downs and Pimlico that they'll be run with fans. Obviously, there's not going to be any fans at Belmont Park today.
Chance for my friend Dave Rodman to get a chance to call maybe a Triple Crown winner.
Yeah,
He never would have thought that.
How cool would that be?
Dick, you want to get to some racing?
Let's do it.
Some real racing?
Yay,
How about
racing.
it? Let's go up to Belmont
Horses
Park.
running.
Horses running.
In circles.
We got some great races
Yes,
here
we
today.
do.
So we're going to start with the great one, Ogden Phipps up at Belmont Park, 1 mile and 1/16 with the big handicap fillies and mares. And Dick, a couple of horses that were really close to the wagering. Number 2, Point of Honor, and number 5, Ollie's Candy. George Weaver saddling Point of Honor. Dick is a 3-year-old, won the Black-Eyed Susan, second to Garana,
Yep.
the second to Dunbar Road, and they really had a brutal trip in the Apple Blossom.
It did, and you know, you're talking about races like the Alabama, the Coaching Club of American Oaks. So yeah, really a solid horse. And Ollie's Candy was a very unlucky second after being in a speed duel in the Apple Blossom, lost by a head. So yeah, those are the two on paper that look like one of them should win.
Ollie's Candy saddled by John Sadler. He was a Grade 1 winner last July out of Del Mar, and Dick, this turned into a terrific stretch battle.
Indeed, it did.
Here's the Ogden Phipps.
Blamed still there. The lead is a half length. Ollie's Candy now getting closer on the outside. It's a break of 3.5 lengths to She's a Julie in third. Then comes a Point of Honor, followed by Pink Sands. They move for the top of the stretch, 3/4 in 109 4, and Ollie's Candy has now made her move to the lead. Ollie's Candy is in front in the stretch. Point of Honor is now coming on the outside with a furlong to the finish. It is Ollie's Candy with the lead, and the lead is 3 lengths. Then She's a Julie, and to her outside, it's Point of Honor. Ollie's Candy trying to hold on. Here's She's a Julie. Here's Point of Honor. The three of them hit the wire together.
Dick, you mentioned Ollie's Candy in the speed duel at Oaklawn. Another speed duel here in the Ogden Phipps. Finally backs out of there late. Here comes Point of Honor. Here comes She's a Julie. And the nod goes to the inside horse, She's a Julie. We'll talk about this in a second. How do you get 14 to 1 on Steve Asmussen? She's a Julie pays $31.40 to win. Dick, she's a Grade 1 winner. What a great price.
Yeah, it was the second off a layoff. Her first race was bad, but that does happen
She missed the
occasionally.
break,
yeah,
so yep,
put a line through
it.
that.
Yep.
Her other lines are pretty solid, and yeah, she doesn't run too many bad races. And yeah, you don't get 14 to 1 on Steve too often. And by the way, about, I don't know, this time next year, I think Steve is going to go for the all-time record for training wins. He's on pace now to go over $9 grand plus next year.
Well, let's get into our first break here. When we come back, we're going to talk with Brian Sanfratello about the effects of the shutdown of the breeding industry and more racing action. We come back on Let's Go Racing.
Wentz has the lead. Diamond Hoops is tugging on Luca, racing a neck off the lead while second.
Racehorses are pampered.
Treated with care and loved.
Nothing is more important than their health and their safety.
We do right by them,
And they do right by us.
the hard-working folks
Who proudly earn our living.
In Pennsylvania's horse racing,
and breeding industries.
Horse racing is a lot of fun.
but it's so much more.
It provides tens of thousands of jobs,
Jobs and billions in economic impact each year.
all across the Commonwealth.
Horse racing in Pennsylvania. It's a winner.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. Dick and I talked about it at the top of the show. Live racing back here on Monday, just a couple of days away, Dick. Monday, June 22nd. Thing we didn't mention, it's going to be a 3-day week now, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Right, and the theory, Keith, is rather than run on a Saturday or a Sunday when all the best signals from around the country are out there, try to run on days where there aren't as many tracks running and you have one of the best signals to generate even more handle on your races.
Dick, we had a chance to talk to Sal DeBunda about some of the issues that we faced here with the live racing throughout the shutdown, but the breeding industry also had its difficulties as well.
No question. It was right smack in the middle of breeding season, and we got a chance to talk to Brian Sanfratello, the executive secretary of the PA Breeders.
Always good to catch up with Brian, and here's more.
Brian, in the months that we've been out here, obviously it has to have an effect on the breeding industry in the state. Tell us about it.
Yep. Of course, what happened was the, with the COVID-19, we've had a lot of the stallion farms put protocols into place as far as dropping mares off, picking the mare up at the van, bringing them to be bred, and then bringing the mare back again. So it did hurt us. People, some people have, had said, well, it's probably better that maybe we don't breed this year and wait till next year. But all in all, we had a pretty good turnout. Most of the farms that I talked to thought that they would actually have less breedings, but they did okay.
It's good to hear. We understand there was some grant money given by some people around the industry to some of the breeders that maybe could use some help. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we wanted to put something together to help the breeders because, as you know, no breeders awards coming in during that time. A lot of breeders also run their own horses, so they weren't getting any purses either. But what they did, what we tried to do was put something together to help them out, maybe to get some feed, veterinary care, etc. We had a couple of our people step up, Chuck Zachney and Glenn Bennett, who both donated $25,000 each of their own, their own money. And I talked to Chuck, and I said, I really thank you guys. And he said, listen, we've been fortunate. We just want to help others out, which is great. So the Horse Breeders Association added 25 in, and we have some other money coming in from other breeders. So with all that, we had people apply for the grants, and we're going to be giving those out up to $1,000, $250 per horse, up to $1,000 per breeder. So it's working out well.
Last question, everybody's going to want to know, when the racing starts here, what's going to happen to the owner bonuses and the breeder bonuses here at Parks?
Yeah, I mean, we sat down with the horsemen's groups, and the one thing we said was, listen, we have to make sure that our breeders get as much money as possible during the first few months to try to make up for everything that went on. So we have some money in reserve. We are able to keep the awards and the owner bonuses and some restricted races exactly the same as it was before COVID-19 hit, which is good. We are also going to bring back PA Day at the races. And a lot of people want to, make sure that they have some stakes races, etc., and a day filled of PA restricted races. So we're going to do that too. And again, we have to thank both horsemen's groups, the PTHA and the HPBA, for helping us to get this done. So again, I thank everybody, and we're going to have a good start.
I do have one more. Is there a date yet for PA Day at the races?
I think we're going to move it, because there's no match series now. It'll probably be the weekend of Labor Day, but that's not in stone yet, but probably not.
Well, Dick, I have to say it was really good to hear from Brian that I guess it could have been worse.
Yeah, no, it sounds like they did okay under the circumstances. And, like the racetrack here, which was open on the backstretch, obviously you had to care for the horses the whole time. Similar at the breeding farms. You can't close down anything with live animals to take care of.
Well, Dick, let's get to some more racing coverage. It's brought to you by Chapin Auto Group. Unless our emblem is on the back of your car or truck, you probably paid too much. Let's get down to Churchill Downs, the big race over the weekend. The Grade 3 Louisville, 1.5 miles on the turf for a pot of $100,000. The favorite, number 5, Arklow, goes off at 6-5 for trainer Brad Cox. He's a Grade 1 winner. Dick, he's often close against tough competition, but really he's only won for his last 10.
Yeah, he doesn't win a lot, but it's because, as you said, of who he's in against. He actually finished 8th in the Breeders' Cup Turf behind Bricks and Mortar, but he was beaten less than 3 lengths in the blanket finish. So a really tough horse, but do you want to take 6-5?
Well, talking about that, number 12, Admission Office, the second choice is 7-2 for trainer Brian Lynch. He's also been close in a lot of tough spots. And Dick, as I did my prep, I was surprised to see that a horse of this quality has not won a stake race yet.
Yeah, it is really weird. He's won almost $400,000, but without winning a stake because he's been been, as you said, close in a lot. Well, one of these close horses is going to win close today.
Another good finish. Here's the Louisville.
Tizza Slam makes a move now. Tizza Slam grabs the lead for that far turn run. Lombo's back into second. Rise the Guy's got a shot right there third. Arklow, steady progress, comes off the hedge. Fourth and in between, Jace's Solitude. Admission Office is forced to go wide round the far turn. Perfect Tapatino's finding a seam in behind. Houston Lemon comes wide and Appreciado. Off the turn, into the stretch, Tizza Slam. Admission Office pounces down the center of the course. Arklow's going to have to come through toward the hedge. Right there, too, is Rise the Guy. Jace's Solitude. He's no lemon. 1 furlong to go. Admission Office in front. Arklow has to dig down deep. Here comes Arklow after Admission Office. These two streaking through the stretch. He's no lemon on the outside. Down to the wire. Admission Office. Arklow. Admission Office got it.
Well, Dick, as you mentioned, one of these horses was going to win a close finish. When I watched the race, Admission Office, I was wondering if he moved too soon because it looked like he was kind of hanging in the stretch, waiting for somebody to come, but he managed to just find enough to get the nod, Dick, and he gets up to win it, and at 7-2, he pays $9.20 to win.
Yeah, it's the age-old question. Do you want the horse on the outside who loses ground but doesn't lose momentum, or do you want the horse who saves ground like Arklow and is waiting for a spot and doesn't gain momentum until it's too late? It's always, there's no right or wrong answer, but this time the horse on the outside won.
Well, Dick, Admission Office does get that first win, and it is a graded stakes win for him as well. Dick, let's go down to Gulfstream Park, a horse that had a race that had some local flavor. This was an overnight stake called the Coal Town. That 1 mile, one turn mile down at Gulfstream Park for $55,000. Let's talk about the favorite first, number 4, Diamond Oops. He's been in some tough spots. He's just a little bit more than even money here.
Yeah, Diamond Oops has won almost $800,000, and yeah, he has been in some tough spots. I saw him run live in that Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, but he could do nothing with the great spun to run.
No, Dick, how about Math Wizard? He's back, and Wentz, who we remember out of the John Service Barn.
Right, Wentz is going to show speed here. He's the 7. Math Wizard is the 9. And he's only run a couple of times since we saw him here winning the PA Derby. I thought ran okay in the Breeders' Cup Classic. He was beaten 15 lengths, but he was the best of the 3-year-olds. Then he tried the Razorback in his first race back. He just wasn't very good, but he looks like he's training a little better for this one.
Gulfstream Park, here's the Coal Town.
Wentz has the lead. Diamond Oops is tugging on Luca, racing a neck off the lead while second. Red Crescent is a 3-wide third. Paco steadily improving with Math Wizard in the 2-path outside of Color Guard, then back to Eye of a Jedi, 2 in front of Garter and Ty, and if Noble Drama wins, he'll beat everybody with less than 3 furlongs to go through a 46-second half mile. Wentz is still there, but Diamond Oops is under a confident ride and is up to take over. Red Crescent's going to run with him. Math Wizard has made a sustained run. He's up on the outside as Diamond Oops just lost the lead to Red Crescent. Eye of a Jedi is driven, but he's gaining ground and an upset possibility by 3/4 in 1:10 and 2. They're into the drive. Red Crescent comes away with the lead down the center. Eye of a Jedi charging hard at the inside in Diamond Oops, but Eye of a Jedi's got the jump.
Dick, Math Wizard, not his best effort here. Wentz set the pace and kind of backed out of there. Big price here, number 2, Eye of the Jedi, 17-1, wins by a length and a quarter, pays $36.40 to win. Dick, we know we can get better for Math Wizard, absolutely.
Yeah, no, we saw it here when he got a 99 when he won the PA Derby. He got a 92, not a terrible race. And it's interesting, I thought Paco got him into the race, but maybe his best style is just sit like he did in the PA Derby and make that one big run. Maybe that's how he's going to run his best. So we'll see what happens next time.
Well, Dick, time to get to our next break. We come back here on Let's Go Racing. Lots more to come. Stay with us. Be back after this.
Turning for Home is a nonprofit that has provided nearly 2,800 former racehorses with a safe retirement. The program was created through the foresight of the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association.
We all love animals, and to give back to something that helps us so much, it's a great thing.
Responding to the need for a better system that addressed the uncertain future for the retiring equine population at Parks Racing, the PTHA rallied horsemen to support the program.
These horses can do anything from hunter jumpers to western to therapeutic riding.
Turning for Home became the first on-track retirement program at a year-round racetrack.
We want to make sure that our horses that have run so well for us over the years get the great opportunity to get a new vocation.
Out of everything that we've done in Pennsylvania for racing, I think that's the thing we can be most proud of.
If you would like to help these amazing animals find a great second career and forever home, please give us a call or contact us at turningforhome.org.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. Time to give out those weekly awards. The Jockey and Trade of the Week brought to you by Turning for Home. Log on to their website at turningforhome.org. Get involved with that terrific retirement program today. And Dick, obviously, we don't have any jockeys or trainers of the week this week, but I do want to salute, and I mean salute, all of the folks that really kind of took it on the chin over the past couple of months here, but stayed with it, hung tough, and they're ready to get back in action.
Yeah, look, everybody took a hit here. No more than the owners, because obviously they had incredible expenses the whole time, paying trainers' fees, vet bills, feeding their horses, and no revenue coming in. We also have to mention the jockeys, who some of them got a few mounts out of town.
Yep.
They're coming out in the morning to work some horses, but man, there's no guaranteed contracts in this game. No work, no money. Welcome back, guys, because it has been a tough go.
How about the wind has died down a little bit here?
It's very nice of the wind to
thing.
stop for the jockeys and trainers segment.
Let's get the race recap now, brought to you by Pewter Stable. Log on to their website at pewterstable.com and become an owner today. Down on the West Coast, we want to take a look at. This is the Angels Flight. $75,000. The Calbred 3-year-old fillies, #1 Gig'em, the 8-5 choice for trainer Bob Baffert. Runner-up in the Grade 2 Las Virgenes. Big late run here to win.
Yeah, it looks like he's never going to get into this race at all.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, where is this horse? And here she comes, and it's the familiar Bob Baffert beating our man Art Sherman. It's not the Breeders' Cup Classic, but it is the Angels Flight for Gig'em.
Wins by a length and pays $5.40 to win. And Eye on Racing, the Belmont Stakes, a mile and an eighth. Later today, the first leg of the Triple Crown. But Dick, it's a huge program up there. We talked about the Woody Stevens, 6 graded races at Belmont Park.
Yeah, no fans, but a great betting day, and I think that the handle will be gigantic again, because there just isn't much action. I know golf, which you love, has just come back. NASCAR's around, but the big sports, they're still not around, man. Gamble all day long on the Belmont.
Don't forget, you can get yourself set up at the phone bet account.
Absolutely.
ParksRacing.com, or get that mobile app on your phone and get set and get some action here this weekend. Time to head to our final break. News and notes. Dick and I will wrap it up after this.
Looking to join the thrill and excitement of thoroughbred racehorse ownership? Pewter Stable can get you started. With more than 25 years of experience under the leadership of Greg and Kate DeMasi, Pewter Stable is one of the industry's leaders in racing partnerships, winning hundreds of races and millions of dollars at racetracks all over the Mid-Atlantic, including New York. No markup, no management fees makes our partnerships unique and affordable. We are Pewter Stable.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. We're here in the paddock as we're going to wrap it up with news and notes. Our friend Bruce Caselli, Dick Girardi, Keith Jones. Dick, we mentioned Monday, the big day, the 22nd action, 12:55 post time. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, now the race schedule here at Parks. And hope that fans have a chance to check in and enjoy the live racing here again. But Dick, you mentioned earlier in the show, Steve Asmussen may have a shot at Dale Baird a little bit later. But just recently, he became the all-time winningest trainer at Churchill Downs.
Yeah, he passed Dale Romans, who got that title not that long ago, and Steve will hold it forever now. And I think he's going to go over 10,000, and it's just a question of when it happens.
And Dick, you have one more thing you want to touch on?
Right, the other real good Bob Baffert, 3-year-old Authentic, who was the runner-up in the Santa Anita Derby, he will run in the Haskell.
Yes.
And Baffert and Big Money Mike Smith are reunited after having a quickie divorce last year for the Breeders' Cup in McKinsey. Mike will ride in the Haskell at Monmouth Park in mid-July.
They patched things up, did they?
They did.
Well, Dick, we're thrilled to be back with live racing and thrilled to see you guys again. We've been kind of cooped up, as they say, but time to get it started again, and we're thrilled. Join us here on Monday, live racing. Of course, you can do that at TVG, but do live racing at 12:55. We'll see you next week on Let's Go Racing.